What's going on, guys? Brandon here from Keller Williams, bringing you another video on all things real estate. And today I'm going to be answering the question of when's the best time to buy? Well, the answer is I know you probably thought I was going to say spring, but that's not always the case. When you're trying to determine when the best time of the year to start looking for a home is, you really want to ask yourself three main questions. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what are my requirements? Now, if you're someone who's looking for something very specific, like 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet with a brick exterior and a white picket fence, then you're probably someone who wants to look in the spring where there's typically more inventory on the market. Whereas if you're someone who's more lax in the requirements and you can kind of deal with a little bit of anything, you're pretty good to look at any time during the year. The second thing you want to ask yourself is, am I looking for the perfect home or am I looking for the perfect deal? You can find the perfect home anytime during the year, spring, summer, winter, or fall. But if you're looking for the best bang for your buck, you may want to wait until later on in the year, particularly winter when there's less buyers on the market. And the reason why you'd want to look in the winter is because typically homes in the winter take longer to sell than they do in the spring. Therefore, it's a lot easier to negotiate with the seller to come down the price or even pay your closing costs for you. Whereas in the spring, where there's typically more buyers on the market at that time, sellers are going to be less likely to come down on the price or negotiate even paying your closing costs for you. And last but not least, we have price range. Now, although your price range doesn't determine when you should look, it does dictate what kind of experience you're going to have. So right now in the Twin Cities, the median home price is $280,000. So if you're around that $280,000 price range or lower, which is considered the first-time home buyer price range, be prepared to battle because it is very competitive in that price range, and time is of the essence. Meaning that if something goes on the market, you need to go look at it quick because it may not be there in a couple hours. Whereas if you're in the higher price points, basically $300,000 and up, the higher you get, basically the less competition you're going to have because there's not a lot of people in that price range. You're going to have a lot more time to go out and take your time looking. But definitely know your price range. So to break it down for you guys, basically the spring market is going to have more buyers, more inventory on market so that you're able to be more picky with what you're looking for. But it's going to typically have higher prices and there's going to be very little, if any, wiggle room for negotiation on price or the seller paying closing costs. Whereas later on in the year, in particular winter, it's going to be less inventory, less buyers, meaning less competition. Homes typically stay on the market longer, meaning that sellers will be more willing to negotiate purchase price and also things like paying for closing costs. And that's it for today's video. I'm hoping that it helped you guys, especially the ones that have the 2020 goal of buying a home this year. If it did, make sure to hit the like button below. And then also don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you're notified when I post the next video every single Wednesday, aka Hump Day. But until then, this is Brandonarchie, and this is All Things Real Estate.